Hello everyone, welcome to Tailored Acres. I'm Taylor and I am a Wisconsin gardener in Zone 4B. I grow lots of cut flowers, vegetables, and flowers for my landscaping. And today I'm going to show you everything that I have started here in mid-March and a couple bonus clips at the end of things that are popping up in my garden already. Now let's do a little winter sowing update. So I have the lid off today because I think it's going to be about 70 degrees here, and we're going to take a dive in temperatures the next few days again. But this is the hardest part of the winter sowing process, where you'll see in here, like, I need to get this stuff watered because the seedlings are drying out that have emerged already. So keeping it cool enough and then also keeping it warm enough when we start diving in temperatures. So if I can show you here, this one for sure. We have these are Alaska daisies, little seedlings. So we need to get these watered and make sure that we stay watered here. And then also top on and off and on and off, which is why I like this tote. Makes it a little easier. So in my jugs too, I didn't see anything sprouting yet, but that's probably an okay thing at this point. Might be a little early. So next we're going to head up to the grow room to see all of the seedlings that I've started inside. Here is what my little grow room looks like currently. And we can go through each thing so you guys can see where they're at, what they look like here mid-March. The last thing I started was snapdragons. And I have 3 different varieties I'm growing this year. And those are under the humidity dome here. Looks like they might need a misting, and they are also on the heat mat, which this is the little cable, and the box is back there. This tray here is mostly perennials, but I have geraniums that I started, and these will likely need to get potted up, but they're looking really good so far. I have heliopsis, summer berries, yarrow, pearly yarrow, Alaska daisy, crazy daisy, foxglove, I think this was excelsior. These ones are foxgloves that I seed saved, and those are doing really well. And then I have penstemon. So those are all the perennials that I started, which they need to get thinned to 1 seedling per cell here, but I was going to wait to do that until they're just a little bit bigger. It's a little bit easier to snip them at that point. Next up, we have the survivors of the Lisianthus. I did not do a good job keeping these moist enough once the humidity dome came out, and a lot of them perished, unfortunately. But it was a good lesson to learn, and next year I can do better. But I will still have quite a few to grow as cut flowers this year. And then we also have the sweet pink dianthus. So this will be treated as a cool flower, and those just got started a couple weeks ago. They're pretty small too, so those are going to be fun. And I planted these all in the same tray. I moved the Lisianthus to this tray because they're all going to go outside around the same time, so they'll be able to get hardened off and planted off at the same time. So that's one thing to watch out for when you're planting your seed trays. The next tray I have here is actually my first trial of the soil blocker, which has been going pretty well. I did a 50-50 mix of cocoa coir and my Pro Mix all-purpose that I use for everything else. On this side, I have some snapdragons planted, and this side I have not planted up yet. I don't know for sure what I'm going to plant in there. It is 20 little blocks, so it is quite a few plants in there, but I do have this little humidity dome I'm reusing, so hoping for germination on those, but this will be just a learning experiment for this year. In my next tray here, I have my peppers that I started on February 15th, I believe it was, and they are looking really good. No complaints there. And I do, once everything has another set of leaves, I do water or fertilize it with the Dr. Earth Pump and Grow into my water. So they are constantly getting a little bit of fertilizer, which does seem to make a big difference. And then I'm very unsuccessfully starting the the Bettany and Baptisia from seed saving. I haven't had luck yet with them in here to germinate, but I do have some cold stratifying in wet paper towel in the refrigerator. So hoping to get some to germinate that way as well. Next, I have my onions, which I also started in February. They are looking really good. So I'm going to be giving these a little haircut here soon. But you don't have to do that. It helps control them, and it does seem to beef them up a little bit. I've been doing that for a few years now. And these are shallots that I'm trying this year for the first time. I'm treating them just like my onions. I did start them a little bit later, so they're not quite as big. Another experiment for this year is the ranunculus, and I'm very excited to report that I got them all to sprout. This one is actually sprouting. It's just a little bit farther behind, which is okay. So these I'm going to grow on until my outside temps are above 30 degrees like consistently. I do have frost cloth to protect them. From what I've seen, they'll be okay down to 28, but I'm just going to grow them on in here because I don't have a hoop house or anything like that, just to see how I can grow them as a home gardener. And then I got some experiments going up here. I am rooting in some of my spider plants, and these will be part of my porch pots this year. I did it last year too, and they're just really nice green plants. So, and they're obviously free. I got this monster going on here. So I'm rooting those in. I've actually got this little rooting thing here. The plants don't look great, but they are growing roots. So I'm going to see if that works there. Some other house plants just on hold here. I do have some African violets I was trying to root. I don't know how that's going. I do also have 3 back here. Oops, I'm sorry. Of the, oh boy, I don't know if I remember what kind this is, and I don't know that I labeled them. The amaryllis, they sent out babies, so we're going to try to grow those on. In the back here, my son wanted to try to root a cactus, so we're doing that. More houseplants. This rosemary I grew from seed last year, direct sowed into my garden, and it was very small. So I just decided to dig it up and see if I could overwinter it. So far it's going okay. I mean, it doesn't look like super happy, but as long as it can live, and we'll harden it off and get it planted in the garden this spring. I also have some snake plants that are rooting. Some of these have been in here for like a year, but look at that. They are starting to grow. So that's pretty fun. Free plants. Some very sickly basil. I'm not sure what's going on there. Mostly neglect. And then these here, the lime green ones and the purple ones in the back, are coleus that I took cuttings from last year, and I just had them in water for quite a while. And most of them did sprout roots, so I potted them up. Some of the cuttings I took were just way too long, so lesson learned there. But I think I can, like especially on this one, I'm just going to snip it down lower, and then those should branch out really nicely. So free plants again for this year. Let's jump to everything that's blooming right now in my yard. And it is, well, I guess mid-March now here in Wisconsin, and I feel like everything's about a month ahead. So these are the 1,000 crocus bulbs that we planted, and I just noticed there are yellow ones up now too. I think those just opened today. So that's really exciting. And this is such a fun little project that we did. Well, it wasn't a little project. It took about all day to plant these, but definitely worth it, and for the years to come. This is the garage garden, and there's a lot of stuff pushing growth here, which I was really surprised about, is the columbine. I didn't realize that that came up so early. So there's also sedum and iris, and then I have some little grape hyacinths planted too. So not blooming yet, but lots of growth here. The other thing I have blooming is more crocus, and these are a different variety here, but these have been planted here for probably 3 years now, and they're always the first ones up. They're so cute. And crocus are usually pretty cheap bulbs, so I'm going to be planting a lot more of the crocus in the next couple of years here because they're so fun. I see my lupin has come back to life here too. So I do have quite a few plants to start from seed this week again. So we will probably do another update video like this if you guys like it. let me know. Let me know what you're growing, and let's grow together. So enjoy and take care.